Hi, this is Larry London, and welcome to Border Crossings. Today, we are joined by a superstar, a man who is responsible for a #1 song on the charts for 12 straight weeks on the Hot Country charts when it came out, called the Get Up song. We've got the guy who's getting up and getting out and getting it to the people, Blanco Brown. Welcome to the Voice of America, Blanco Brown.
Howdy, blessings. I'm glad to be here.
Now, I was told somewhere along the line that this song, the Get Up song, was inspired by your grandmother because she used to tell you to get up.
Yep. So the name was actually inspired by her because if you listen to the song, you never hear the words "get up" in the song one time. So it pretty much meant to get up, get started with your day, get in the groove, get into the greatness of who you are, your essence. And my grandmother used to come every morning and say, "Get up." It's time to go do something. So the Get Up, that's how we got the name.
And when you had that song, actually, I read an interview you did where you said you had that song ready to go before Old Town Road came out. But you waited. You did the nice thing. You were the grown up in the room, and you said, "I'm going to wait and let him release his thing and do his thing, and then I'll put my song out."
No, I mean, it's kind of how it played out. But I did the Get Up, produced it, and wrote it in 2018. September to be exact, the month. And I was slated to come out with my EP the spring of.
Yeah, like, wow, 4 billion views. That's like, wow.
That's a whole bunch, 4 billion views.
That's pretty amazing. That's several large countries. It's just unbelievable.
Definitely.
I mean, in the business these days, to talk about numbers in the billions, I mean, you must have to pinch yourself every once in a while. So I can't imagine that.
Man, I mean, it's surreal to have a B in front of anything. I mean, like, the M's are amazing also, but to have a B is like, wow.
Well, we're talking with Blanco Brown, who is our guest today. The Get Up song, which, of course, made him the #1 country artist in 2019. And you've done so much more than just the one song. Now, were you always interested in country music, or was rap and hip hop your thing? Or, because combining country and rap was something never done before you and Little Nas did.
Like, honestly, I've always loved country music, and rap music I was into, but I didn't ever see like myself being a rapper. I've always wanted to be a singer. So I decided to create a genre called trailer trap. Trap music meets trailer park music. I just bridge the gap, trailer trap. And I didn't have to choose one thing. I love it all. So it's country music essentially with 808s and hi-hats and trap snares.
So we're talking with Blanco Brown, and he's got a new album out. We were just talking about it, and a new song, Trap Still Bumpin'. And you decided you wanted to do this song with an artist who in his career has already earned 11 Billboard Music Awards and 3 BET Awards, 2 American Music Awards. T.I., who's with us right now. I've got bookend superstars with me, Blanco Brown and T.I. So tell me about this song, this trap song that you wanted to add with T.I. How did that come together?
Man, I was at the studio, Super Sounds, and I was jamming. I said, I want you to hear something. I sent them over a record, and I sent them over 2 more records, like 3 records total. He sent the verses back so fast, I was like, ain't no way. We got 3 songs jamming this hard, this fast. And we decided to just keep it moving, keep it going. Trap Still Bumping came to life, and here we are.
And T.I., you made trap music what it is. You made it famous.
Definitely.
I had the pleasure of introducing the concept to the world in 2003. This is actually the 20th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Love and respect. I appreciate it. But it definitely has evolved ever since. And it's been made a global phenomenon by a collective effort. There are some very significant contributors that have, came in and just, kind of pushed the envelope beyond the spectrum from where I introduced it. And, it's an honor to be involved.
And hip hop, I don't know if you watched the Grammys or you were at the Grammys, but they paid tribute to hip hop music on its 50th anniversary, and they brought back some of the giants. How did you feel about that? I mean, as a couple of artists who actually grew up on hip hop.
Man, it was a phenomenal sight to see, just for such an elite establishment to pay homage and give tribute to all of our heroes and predecessors. Love to see it, and for hip hop to be turning 50 years old, when I still can remember as a kid, my dad and others like, oh, that music not gonna be around. It's not real music. And we've been able to be a voice for the people, express through music what's going on within the communities, and just continue to break records.
And it's great music. It really is. And I was so surprised when I heard people didn't think it was going to last, but obviously the business proved them wrong. They didn't know what they were talking about. Blanco, your new album, you've got not only T.I., you've got collaborations with a whole bunch of folks, don't you?
Yeah, I have a few collaborations, here and there.
Here and there? Can you let us know any? Can you give us some of the surprises?
I mean, the album ain't pressed and printed yet, so I don't want to speak on it until it's pressed and printed.
All right,
you gotta finish them side artist agreements and everything before you go to talking. But I will say, off the record, off album, I've done collaborations with Gip from Goody Mob, E40, Slim from 112. Some of everybody, man. Jimmy Allen. The list goes on.
Mm-hmm. So T.I., top 3 artists you'd like to collaborate with, dead or alive, on your wish list. Dead or alive, top 3.
Tupac, Prince, Michael Jackson.
Wow. We're talking with 2 music heavyweights, 2 of the biggest names in music, Blanco Brown, T.I. And, T.I., you're doing movies and TV shows, and you're producing a TV show, and you're sitting next to Cardi B on a game show on Netflix. And when do you have time for anything? I mean, you're just doing too many things.
Well, I think no rest for the weary, I tell you that. But I'm driven by visions. I still remember being a kid, having visions and dreams of being in the industry, entertaining and doing what we love for a living. I always knew that if I had an opportunity to be successful at one thing, that it would offer me the opportunity to leverage myself into another opportunity, and that's what I've been able to do. Starting with real estate development back in 2000, my uncle and I began acquiring and rehabbing homes, and trying to reshape the image of our communities. We've been able to do so, but now I've kind of gotten into commercial real estate and went into my first mixed-use development, and it's called Entrada. It's on Bankhead. It's mixed-use multifamily, like 143 units, all affordable housing, to make sure the natives of the community can still afford to live in the community of Atlanta with so much gentrification. And, with Atlanta being so sought after and so many people migrating there, it's kind of causing the property value to rise to a point where the natives of the community can't afford to live within the community anymore. We just wanted to do what we can to kind of, fill that void. That then got me into film, my first film, ATL, then got into fashion and so on and so forth. I've just been blessed, but the glory goes to God. And, I've been blessed to be able to do what I love for a living for so long. I'm humble.
And you, of course, a lot of people don't know this, but you were nominated for a Tony for the soundtrack to the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah. Fun fact. Okay, so I know absolutely nothing about SpongeBob, right? So it was actually my son. So the opportunity came to me. Nickelodeon came to me and asked me to write a SpongeBob lyric, or I think like a verse or something. But the thing is, I knew nothing about SpongeBob. So erring on the side of authenticity, I tapped in my son, Damani, who was a young, aspiring hip hop artist at the time, and he loved SpongeBob. Like him, my sons and daughter, they loved it. So I said, it's probably best for me to reach to the next generation, man, and let them kind of, do it the way it should be done for them.
That's great. That's great. And Blanco, do you have any desire to score a movie or write music for a film?
Oh, definitely. I wrote my first actual script in high school, and I've been writing music for TV shows and stuff for a minute now. Mm-hmm. Got a few songs here and there. None too major, but I've been acting my whole life also. So I have like my little demo reels and stuff. And doing voiceovers, I could talk just about like anything from SpongeBob to Bernie Mac to Donald Duck, anything.
That's great. When Blanco Brown called you up to TI and said he wants to collaborate with you, what did you think? Were you thinking this is a country song?
Well, no, I think there are no, I don't look at boundaries, restrictions, or limitations in music. I feel like, music is an art form. All art is subjective. It all is an expression to communicate with people. And I've also known Blanco for quite some time, longer indirectly, you know what I'm saying, for maybe about 2 or 3, 4 years directly, maybe 5 years now, directly. He's also related to a very, very close partner of mine named Young Growth, and also originally came to my attention by working with my wife, and also working with another true partner of mine who's no longer with us, named Sanchez. So I was no stranger to the phenomenal feats of Blanco Brown. So when he tapped in, I just pulled up to the studio one day, and he just happened to be there as a patron. And I was just proud to have him there. And then I'm in the studio working on my own one too, and he kind of just tapped on the door like, "Hey man, I got something for you now. If you're up to it." And I listened to it. And he gave me 3 options. Kind of like whichever one of these you want to do. So I went on, knocked them all out, and and sent them back through the hallway, and we've been rolling.
That's exactly how it went.
So Blanco, let me ask you, what does trap music mean to you?
Man, trap music is a sound, it's a feeling, and it's storytelling at its best. It's the livelihood of like people like Tip himself going through his situations and sharing it with the world, not being afraid to express that griminess, that every time I went outside, we saw somebody in the trap, they had on some clean Air Force One. We were trying to figure out how they stayed clean. They outside slinging all day. They had multiple pair, you know what I'm saying? So all I ever wanted was a pair of Air Force One and a song to go with it. And I was blessed to put out my first single with Air Force One with Spurs on it. They are now in the Country Music Hall of Fame, the quickest in history. So,
have you always been a country music artist?
Yes, I've always loved country music. Grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, Bankhead to Washington Road, Exit 1. Went to Butler, Georgia, Macon, Griffin, Thomason, Buena Vista as a kid. So I went from sitting on generators to propane tanks, and just sharing both worlds in the story of lightning bugs and honeysuckles in the backyard on the clothesline, like snatching people clothes running.
You said you were still working on the album. Do you have a name in mind and maybe a target date? Would you by the summer or end of the year? When are you thinking you'll have your album out?
My title, I don't have it yet, but me and Tip have a whole album, whole project we got, and we're gonna title that Trailer Trap. It's the essence of what he created. And I'll say this just for the record. I didn't listen to rap music before trap music. And when Tip came out, I was just like, man, this right here is jamming. And I got into a whole nother realm of my music. So it set my bar at a higher place. Just to hear people talk about the things that I seen going on in my neighborhoods, in the neighborhood we grew up in. Nobody had really expressed that. Like I heard Kilo Ali and I heard the 69 Boy. They were talking about rump shaking music, but he came out and just changed everything. And I just kind of wanted to be a part of what he had going on. So I went with something that expressed both sides of what I love, trap music and trailer park. So I named it Trailer Trap.
I like it. I like it. What's the new single that you've got out now?
I'll Never. It's the wedding song of the year.
It is? All right. We'll check it out right now here on Border Crossing. This is Border Crossings, and I've got Blanco Brown and I've got T.I., two of the biggest names in music, in hip hop, and in show business in general. And T.I., you've done so many different things. Are you going to be doing another Ant-Man film? I mean, that's the huge business right now, is all the superhero films.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a phenomenal opportunity to be a part of the Marvel Universe, to work with Ant-Man along with Paul Rudd, Michael Pena, David Dashmalshin, and Michael Douglas, and so many others. But you know, these guys, they did the third one, the third of the trilogy, and they did not bring back the entourage. But you know, I think they're in the quantum realm right now, so who knows what happens for installments beyond.
Is there a role that you haven't done yet that you still want to do? Is there something you want to do in a movie that you're thinking about doing?
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing Red Fox.
Elizabeth, I'm coming up.
Yeah, that's my dream. I think that's like my dream role. Red Fox and potentially Huey P. Newton.
Wow, that's excellent. How about you, Blanco? Is there something that you'd want to do that you still haven't done yet outside of your comfort zone?
Oh man, I mean, I want to get into some film, some acting. And I feel like it's still kind of in my comfort zone, but outside of what people have ever seen me do.
Well, maybe T.I. can get you in one of those superhero movies. You can become, Blanco Man.
Oh yeah, tip all business. Tip all business, all business and perseverance. Like, so we got something that look like it's decent. He'll talk about it. So I ain't never got to worry about him shooting something down so fast. He'll listen first.
Well, every good businessman listens, is a good listener. So yeah. T.I., let me ask you, what are you working on right now yourself for your career?
Working on my final album. It's called Kill the King. Working on putting records together for it to introduce it to the world. I'm working on of course, just as Blanco let you know about, we have our project Trailer Trap coming, and just like I said, steady pushing away on real estate developments. Have the Trap Music Museum working toward its 5th anniversary. And, it's just an honor to be able to offer culture and information and inspiration to so many people in the community that, never went to a museum before because they didn't necessarily see themselves or anything they were familiar with in it. And, we partnered with so many different artists and created installations and exhibits to represent the most significant contributors to trap music thus far. And, it's just an honor to continue to be just crowned by the people as the one to offer culture and creativity. Still have my clothing lines, a King of Oneself, Hustle Gang. On the tour, presently on tour, I forgot, can't forget about that. Presently on tour, the Legends of the Streets tour, myself, Young Jeezy, 2 Chainz, Gucci Mane, Trina, Rick Ross, Cameron, Jadakiss.
Wow.
We tearing the map up, and just continuing to try to inspire, man. Try to inspire. Trap music was it started out as a philosophical presentation. 20 years ago, it was really just stories about the lives and lifestyles of people who were, how could I say, refugees of the war on drugs, you know, trying to make a way out of no way, facing immeasurable odds, and taking what the devil meant for bad and allowing God to use it for good by sharing stories and letting everybody else in the country and the world know that who were going through similar experiences, that they weren't going through it alone. So I've just been fortunate. I've been blessed. I still give the glory to God. And, you know, I'm very thankful and humbled by my fans and my constituents for allowing, you know, such a phenomenal, a humbling effort by myself to be rewarded with still being here.
Well, that's very profound and, you know, real touching. I know that's deep. You're talking deep stuff inside. And we are on the air in 100 countries around the world. We're talking to the military. We're talking to people in Africa and Asia and Europe. And so for people who are struggling, who came up or are currently enduring the situation that you did when you were youth, both of you, what lesson did you learn? What advice could you give to those people who are trying to get up and get out of that, you know, the hole that they're in?
I say keep going. Don't talk too much. Just be about what you want to be about. But too much talking, man, sets you back a whole light year. So just be great and chase your dreams and make them reality.
How about you, T.I.?
Sure. Well, first, you know, I say it again, man, give the glory to God. Believing in something bigger than yourself, well, you know, it'll create just belief in yourself, you know, and you'll be able to face the world a lot more tenaciously than you could, you know, otherwise. And also, I think the greatest lesson I've learned in this is when you have a vision, listen to your vision, because the vision is yours for a reason. A lot of time, everybody on earth, every human being on earth was blessed with some form of greatness. You know, our life purpose is to find out what that form of greatness is and how we can extract it from our mental or our internal and present it to the world in such a way that, you know, it can help others. And, you know, most of the time when we get these visions, something that we think that we should be doing, that we think that we can execute, we go share it with other people. And as soon as they project their fears and failures on us, then, you know, we kind of like discourage ourselves and talk ourselves out of our vision. But that was, you know, that was God's purpose for you. That was your vision for a reason.
Well, thank you, T.I., and thank you, Blanco Brown. Both of you guys, what a thrill and an honor to have you here. And I know that we're looking forward to Blanco's new album with T.I. and also your new album sometime later on this year that you've got about, you know, inspired by trap music. And it's going to be a great year for both of you. It sounds like you both have a very busy calendar ahead. Anything you want to say to the troops before we go? Because they're tuned in right now.
Love and blessings. Thank y'all for y'all service. I'm actually doing a USO tour at the end of March. So I'm so excited and ecstatic to be a part of the ones that wake up every day and risk their lives for us so that we can live in our greatness as they live in theirs. Love and blessings.
T.I., you want to add anything?
Yeah, definitely, man. Love and respect. Great appreciation. Salute you. And continue to allow God to guide your steps and do what's necessary and what's right for the truth and freedoms and liberties of the free world. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you, T.I. Thank you, Blanco Brown. Combined, these guys have hundreds of millions of records sold. They've got awards and awards and awards, and they deserve it. Both of them are tremendously talented musicians, and it's been a thrill to have you guys on Border Crossings today, T.I. and Blanco Brown. Thank you guys for doing this for us. And when you're in D.C., your new albums both come out. I'd like to have you back in. I'd like to invite you back on if you can do it, if you guys are in D.C.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is Border Crossings. I'm Larry London. You're watching VOA TV.